Before we get to the bed, let's go to the Kinks. Here they are. In bed this morning at the Whitehall Hotel, Ray Davies. Ray!
Hi, Ray.
Hi, how are you? Bob and Marianne, right?
Greetings, yes, and as long as we're checking names now, okay, what is it? On the radio for years and years, I always said Ray Davies. Your road manager calls you Davis. Who would you like to be this morning?
Yeah, well, don't listen to him, he's mad. he's not completely with us. But
I see.
I think the best way to do it is, it's D-A-Y, like day.
Right.
And if it's separate word, V-E-E-Z. So V's.
Right. Exactly. That's the way I've always said your name, Ray
Davies.
Wrong. That's wrong.
That's wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, what's
if you
right?
think of it, V-I-Z. So.
Oh, I got you.
Davies.
Viz. So it's a cross between Davies and Davis.
It's a crossbreed.
Ray Davies.
That's right.
Davies.
Davies.
Gotcha.
Oh, I like that phonetic.
Not Davis, Davies.
Davies, yeah.
Well,
so we sorted that one out.
No, we got past that. Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I expected more people here, but never mind.
In the room?
Yeah, in the bed.
Well, there are a lot of people watching their TVs this morning, okay?
Okay.
You can always call room service for that, probably.
I have.
In the paper, you got a great review. You got a great review for the show.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but I understand it's really good.
Yeah, Friday, Greg Cotton, the Tribune, raved about your show, which is An Evening with Ray Davies, 20th Century Man at the Apollo Theater through April 27th. So you actually do more than just sing in this show. You sort of tell some stories, right?
What it is, basically, it started off, I had a book out last year called X-Ray, which is a sort of unauthorized autobiography. And I did some shows reading from the book, and I put some songs in. I've written new songs for this show. And it's a kind of, the show's got a kind of a narrative as a result, and it's, yeah, it's different. I'm enjoying it.
So,
Is that a big enough pitch for the show?
Yeah, I think
We're
so.
here for the rest of the week.
For the rest of the week?
Yeah. Through the weekend.
27th.
We finish on, through till this Saturday.
Tell us, you know what I've always been curious about, and that coincidentally was written up in the paper today, Friday also, the lyrics of some of your songs. A little strange, but well, I don't know. They see when I was a child growing up, I didn't really get what they meant, but the one, you know, Lola and walked like a woman and.
Oh, you mean the songs I write about drag queens?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that what they're all about?
What, drag queens?
Yeah.
No, I just write about people. You know, all my early songs and people that come to the show, you know, I think they go away from this show understanding the Kinks more, because I think there's always been a strange connotation, you know, on the name Kinks, obviously. But they go away from the show and they know a lot more about us than when they came. And it's an insight into the songs as well as being an autobiographical evening. I think Lola was just another character I met. You know, that's how I write songs. I write about people and what they do with their lives. So, you know, if they're drag queens, I'll write about it.
It's a great song.
Thanks a lot.
You tell an interesting Beatles story in your show. Can you talk a little bit about the Kinks and the Beatles? You were sort of starting out almost at the same time, weren't you?
Well, no, actually, they were a few years ahead of us. Actually, we broke through the end of '64, and I think that clip you showed was around the end of '65. So the Beatles had been around, and so we were really the young upstarts. And I tell the audience about an incident when we supported them in a concert, and John Lennon in particular really put us in our place, and I think. You know, I think he was quite right, because we were upstarts.
What did he say to you?
In fact, we're still upstarts.
What happened?
No, he just, the usual thing, you know, it's like one-upmanship, you know, like touching my jacket and brushing dandruff off my jacket. And, that sort of thing. The usual thing, you know. They must do it to you all the time, Bob.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
You opened for them? I mean, you were like on the bill as an opening act on a Beatles show?
What it was a package tour, and there were lots of other bands on before us, and we had the prime spot on just before the Beatles. So it was in our interest to play as well as possible, because we tried to upstage them, because we had our first hit at the time. But they were so phenomenally successful, it was almost impossible to do that.
What have you done over the years that has made you be able to stay on top of it? I mean, you've been around for so long, and you've obviously changed with the times.
The Kinks are an odd bunch, you know, and it's mainly, I think, keeping our kind of amateur status, in a sense, that keeping the fun element in our music. I think that's a very important thing to do. I think you'll even find, you know, like your football team, no, is it the baseball, netball team? You've got the people with the ball that bounce it around, they're 70 years old or something. But anyway,
I like that.
I like that too.
But anyway, I don't think that they could play their game just being professional. I think that there's that one element that someone like Jordan, isn't it? It gets into his game. When he goes up to put that ball in the net, it's like the kid doing it for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think that the Kinks retained that. And I think that's another thing that comes through in the show, is that the never-ending sort of pool of kind of energy that the band's always had. And they're still together today, but this is like a solo tour I'm doing at the moment. But the band is very present on stage with me.
Ray Davies at the Apollo Theater. Ham, here comes the laundry basket of nightshirts. Have a shirt.
Okay.
A little custom to thank you for being with us here, Ray.
Yeah.
And just hold that up to the camera.
It would have been my underpants, but now I must confess I don't wear them, so...
we've learned something else about you here.
Is a shirt from the New York. We sold out New York before this, and it's a Ray Davies shirt.
Ray Davies.
Yeah. Okay.
When did you stop wearing underpants, and why?
Well, when you tour a lot, it helps economize. You know, it's as simple as that, really. And I wait for Christmas, and I get lots of them given to me at Christmas. You know, as a rule.
I bet when you were on the American Bandstand, were you ever on American Bandstand?
Never.
You weren't?
Never had the pleasure.
Oh.
It's something else.
Well, because if you were, Dick Clark would have asked you that same question.
Yeah.
All right, good luck, Ray. Nice chatting with you.
Good luck.
Nice to meet you. Good luck.
Nice to meet you.
Ray Davies. We'll be back. There you go. It's 8:49. When we come back, we'll update today's Chicago area headlines.
And later...
There's a guitar there, and that's the only accompaniment that Ray Davies has over at the Apollo Theater.
Well, he's got a stuffed animal there, too.
Yeah.
And
he has a guitarist with him at the Apollo.
Yeah, and he's not wearing his pajamas. He looks like he's dressed and ready to go, but I wonder what he wears to bed now that we know what he doesn't wear under his clothes.
You're really into this line of questioning today, aren't you?
Well, because it's our in bed with guests, and usually they're in bed, you know, tucked under the sheets, and, you know.
And he's not. Including